What is up, AfterBuzzers? Thank you so much for joining us again this fabulous Tuesday evening. We're still here talking about Still There. This recent episode for This Is Us. I tried to be punny. It didn't really work, but stay tuned. We're going to talk all about it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I've been walked by the rain, driven by the snow. I'm drunk and dirty, don't you know? But I'm still.
I could just jam to Mandy Moore all day.
So good. With a cup of tea.
Did you guys see their little segment on Ellen where they were like playing Never Have I Ever and she's never jammed out to her own music?
No.
I missed that.
I think I watched that.
Come on, Mandy. Like, jam out to your own
Right?
stuff. You worked hard.
Especially what, Missing You Like Candy?
Right? Of course. It's an
Especially
oldie but goodie.
this. You should be kicked back by a fire listening
Right?
to this.
I mean, no fires in LA. It's been 100 degrees.
Right?
But
Oh my God.
what is up, guys? We are listening to Willin' by Mandy Moore. And like I said last week, there is an incredible playlist on Spotify now specifically for This Is Us with a lot of the music that's featured on the show. Some of the artists, Chrissy Metz is on there, Mandy Moore. So you guys need to go subscribe to them. Check it out because I love it. But thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Candace Cruz. You can find me on all social media at Candace R. Cruz.
And I am Keith Andre. You can follow me everywhere at Keith_Andre. This episode was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. It was
But
good.
I'm ready to talk.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Erica Shannon, and you can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby. And we have a new face tonight.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, panel. I'm
course.
Becky Sotero. My friends, you can find me at Becky Sotero on all social media. What a pleasure. I feel just so honored to be on this panel, you
Oh,
guys.
we're so glad you're
you.
here.
Thank
And
you.
what an episode to come in on.
Right?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. I feel like it kind of started off slow. I was a little like, I wonder where this is going. And then it just picked up.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know where the episode was going to go. And maybe it was intentional to start slow because there was so much like heaviness that was packed into it. But as always, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, it was a good build up. I agree.
Literally a roller coaster because it started.
I think the issues that they tackled in this episode were so raw and real, like they do every week. But I feel like it wasn't. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt very real.
Yeah, and I think a part of that is because it felt, I don't know if it felt more connective. I mean, I know a lot of the issues we all seem to face, but this was very much like everyday, you know, black and white, in your face type of stuff that I feel like everybody relates to. So I don't know if that's what made it more impactful, but it was like just super aware. But I feel like they handled it really, really good.
I was going to say, did you say black and white intentionally?
Somebody's getting punny.
Hey, I tried. He's successful.
It's okay. He got that back in there.
He got that pun, though.
No, they didn't mess around. They went right for it, didn't they?
Yeah. And what we talked about last week, the interaction with Randall and Deja did not go the way that we predicted at all.
Yeah.
At all.
So where are we starting?
Well,
Where do you guys want to start? Because there's a lot.
I did want to mention, because somebody
Yes.
asked in the chat, thank you for everybody that's in there, where's Lena? And she's a little under the weather.
right.
Yes.
I'm
So
sorry, yeah.
send her your love and tell her we miss her.
You
and-
guys are
better be
awesome.
back.
I
I know.
swear.
I have big shoes to fill, but Lena is in our hearts. She's gonna feel better soon.
Yes.
But where to start? I don't know. Do we start at the end? Do we start?
Maybe
Why
at the
don't-
end, just because it is
The big news.
The end.
The big news. The big news.
She's having a baby!
And now we get to spend all season wondering if it's a boy or a girl, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I was so wondering what was going on. Like, I feel her on the being of the there's coffee in here, I promise, guys. The obsessiveness about working out and eating healthy, because I've been there. I feel it. Like when you have that dress that you want to fit in, you don't just want to fit, you want it to be too big. And you're shooting for that. And so when I saw her put on the dress, I was completely wrong at the emotions that she was feeling. I was totally convinced that she was like, yeah, it fits, but it's not like the way I wanted it to fit.
Right.
And then come to find out, we get this news.
Yeah.
I was lost with her too. I feel like this is a part of her character, her journey that I never would have thought of. Like I never thought about her having a baby at all. And I feel like we saw so little of her tonight too.
Yeah.
So we were it was like a bit of a mystery with her. And I was just like, what's going on with her now?
Yeah. They threw us
There's always something.
Yeah.
But to see that she's having I'm super excited to see like how they run this story. I know it's going to be a roller coaster. I know she's going to be super aware of her weight, but I'm so happy.
I wonder what the health issues are, because I know that there are a lot for any women that are heavier, that are obese, that are trying to have children and trying to conceive in general.
And at a
like
certain age.
Yeah.
At a certain age. It was a miracle in general for her to be able to conceive at her weight and at her age. And I'm sure that someone is more knowledgeable on this topic than I am. But I'm wondering how they'll tackle all of that.
Oh, and you know that they will.
Of course.
For sure.
Like,
Yes.
you know that they will. But going back to the obsessive comment, I was definitely with everybody in thinking that she was obsessive. Like, I had flashbacks to Full House when DJ would like collapsed at the gym because she was not eating and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's where I thought that they were going to go. But she's just trying to make sure that this pregnancy will go full term.
Right.
And I think that, and the fact that she can't tell anybody, it just makes her seem more obsessive about it.
Of course.
So when she finally can,
I don't know. I mean,
let
they
it go.
didn't, so far though on this show, they haven't really tackled her weight being an issue. So I was like, I wonder where they're going with this. And then when they had her in the pharmacy, I was like, And I remember you were saying maybe the laxatives, or maybe it was something
that was the word
weight-related.
that I saw.
So they definitely took us and slapped us with this.
I have to say the Pearson clan are some of the most obsessive people. If you really think about it, like they are very narrow, not in a bad way. We all have our things, but they're very narrow-minded. This is what I'm determined on, and that could passionate.
Yes.
So it could be seen as a great quality, but also if it's excessive. Like,
it's scary.
I mean, hello, look at Kevin on top.
Okay,
so that's a good transition.
Right into Kevin. So I've
Rolling
been
my sleeves up for that one, guys.
Listen, I've been rooting for Kevin. I feel like the past couple of weeks, but I was kind of disappointed with him tonight. I just didn't feel that we got much from him. One thing I do feel and what I enjoy seeing is the younger versions of themselves, and I was really happy to see like young Kevin with Jack and that relationship and all of that. And I feel like as an adult, tonight showed us that he's definitely still like fighting for his spot and trying to be seen and trying to be heard, but just the way he's going about his career path now, and we got to see popping the pills. So I don't know, I'm just like, Kevin, you got to take a back seat with me because it's so much more that I'm interested in.
I actually disagree with you.
Yeah,
because I've normally been very disappointed in Kevin previously, and tonight I feel like it wasn't overdone. It wasn't overstated, which I feel like a lot of his performance, unfortunately, is overcompensating because of the character in nature.
Yeah.
Today, it just felt like a real person. Like, it felt like a real person that I can understand, and I'm like, I get it. Like, you're fighting for this dream. You've been disappointed before. You were never paid attention to. Like, we're starting to see more of why he has these issues with his injury, why he's trying to be the best that he can be.
Yeah.
Because he's lost something. And when you've lost something, you automatically are like, I can't lose again. I've lost my dad, and I've lost the only thing that I was really good at.
Yeah.
And acting, I know I'm not the best at. So I'm going to try and make sure that this is all that I have.
Yeah.
And I would
I'll
even take
that.
it. I would even take it a step further. I think, especially with the scene where he was watching Jack like cheer him on. I think he's more so trying to fulfill something of a promise to Jack.
Yes, and we're seeing the correlation, the relationship between them now, and we're seeing. I think it's been sort of undershadowed their relationship, and we're seeing now, especially with the pill popping, that could now be taking a journey down the alcoholism with Jack.
Definitely.
So I think, like you said, it's a promise. I totally got that. Was a powerful scene.
And that shot.
Such a big moment. I loved that moment because I felt like they set that up nicely too, because as a child we saw him learning to be tough, and as your dad and as a boy like learning to exhibit this toughness.
When we see the vulnerability that Jack had with the alcoholism alcoholism and oh man.
And I was gonna say that's actually a quote that stuck out to me when Jack said to younger Kevin when he wouldn't stop scratching himself, "You're making it worse on yourself by focusing on it so much." And I think that gives us insight into how Kevin is as an adult.
Yes.
Like he didn't want to be on the Manny anymore. He focused on not being on the Manny. You know, now he wants to be such a good actor that he has to do whatever it takes.
He's detrimental
to
to
get
him
back.
himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's also fascinating to see like that symbolic shot of when he popped the pill with his dad on the screen behind him, number one. And I mean, kudos to him for his amazing work, because I saw like, I always feel it's all in the eyes when it comes to acting. When you see true actors, you can tell that it's all right here. And I saw the inner child in him when he took that pill. It was almost like he was just like, I give up. I'm 17-year-old Kevin again, and I don't know what to do. And my dad's not here to tell me, and I can't get through this alone. And this is the only thing.
And he
that
has
will
to be
numb it.
tough. He has to be strong. He has to just like
Be
the
bigger than
chickenpox.
the itch.
Yeah,
Be
and
bigger than the itch.
especially to have to realize that
God,
now,
it gave me
because
chills now. I have like goosebumps.
we've talked a lot about, you know, how as an adult, Kevin hasn't really faced the issues that he has having lost his father. So to kind of have all of that hit you at once and then figure it out, I feel like we did see a display of that. So I'll give you that. I still don't, I'm still ain't rocking with it, but your point is valid.
All right.
And I think that's going to happen. Sometimes we're going to see more of one story than we are.
Yes.
So for this episode, maybe Kevin just took a back seat.
Yeah. And it was good to see all the couples again. You know, we got Kate and Toby back. We didn't really see Toby last week at all. I don't
He
believe
was just a
Maybe
little
for
blip.
a second,
Little
yeah.
blip, yeah.
And seeing Kevin and Toby's relationship like continue to
develop.
We get little blips
We
of
see,
them.
we see
Yeah.
him Kevin opening
The
up more.
bromance.
Yes.
The romance.
Until Toby gets annoyed by something else Kevin does.
course.
It's just a
I
matter
mean,
of time.
can you
Speaking of
not?
roller coaster, that's like
Right?
Yeah.
Up and down, up and
Day
down.
to day, you never
But
know
that's
what
why
you're
this
getting.
show is so good. It's so unpredictable.
It really is. It really is. I feel like we try to find a way to streamline it, and then it gets, even with everything that's been thrown, we're like combating and thinking that it's going to go one way, and then we find out she's having a whole baby.
We having a whole baby, not a half baby. A whole baby, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, okay, so we got some people in the chat. Kevin needs to, I can't read that. My
Learn
eyes
patience
thank
for
you.
any injury. Yeah. But again, I think it's because it's 20 years.
Yes,
And we were even
and
talking about that a little bit outside before we walked in, about how there are certain, you're either younger when you find success in acting, or you're older when you find success in acting. And I think Kevin's at that point where he's older and found success, and now he's like, I can't give it up.
And it's a
Yeah.
catch-22 because it wasn't just his football career that he lost with his knee. Now he's like, and my acting career.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a double whammy.
Which it's not, and I think it was really hard for him to accept help. He's not one to accept help. Like even when Sophie was calling, he was like, no, I'm fine. And then the producer's saying, it's not a request, it's an order. Like this is what you have to do. And like someone up in the chat, I agree with them. Yeah, Kevin's development is slow, but at the same time, as much as I rag on Kevin, I feel like it wouldn't be realistic if we automatically like saw this big development and it's like, oh, we see Kevin now, because the entire first season we see this version of Kevin. We can't automatically just change it and him have this epiphany and become this better person.
Yeah.
That's not how it works in life.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And if they're trying to keep with the integrity of being real life and real people and people that we can relate to, I'm sure there are a ton of Kevins out there in this world. Maybe not actors, but there are a lot of people that are exactly like
For
him.
sure.
Well, and there's a lot of character development they're doing there. There's
course.
so many places they could go now. I mean, I hate to say that because it's about pill popping versus the alcoholism, but they can really draw some parallels there for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, we're missing one of the trio, and we got to hit on Randall as well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Which
And
I'm
Deja.
still mad that they're separated.
Oh,
feel
like three.
Like
not having
Kevin
them.
and Kate
Oh, I
are
was
over
like, wait a
here,
second, when
Randall
did I
is over
miss
here.
this?
No. Like I just want to see them all together.
Yes.
And
Yeah, but we got to see a lot of Randall's story.
Yes.
We got to see
Yes,
a
we
lot
did.
of like. This is where it was like, oh, hello. Like, this is a lot.
Can I say something though on the separated part before we go into that? Because yes, but do you think they're doing that intentionally?
I think so.
Because they've
think
always
so.
been that way, and we even see that with which we'll talk about with the chicken pox is like they're automatically the twins.
Yep.
And Randall, even though they don't mean for it to be, those two shared a womb.
Yeah.
And they are biologically connected. It's not just like, you know, brother sister. It's like they were in that together.
It's I feel like it's a natural reaction to package twins together. Like I said last week, I have a twin brother. We look nothing alike. I've always been shorter, but there's that stage where your parents are dressing, you're like, and it's the twins this. And
would you say you're
twins, and
psychologically
where's the
in
twins?
sync though?
Yeah,
You know?
we definitely have the twin connection, but the whole journey is like, oh, the twins. If they see one, then where's the other? You know what I mean? So I feel like it's natural to pack them together.
And I mean, of course, Randall wants to have his own identity. At the same time, it's like, well, if I'm not going to fit in the trio, then I might as well have my own. Like,
and he does. I mean, Randall does a good job with them. So
Now, or even I would even say child Randall.
like learning wise.
yeah, he's so smart.
So
I
smart.
love that little boy. I swear.
That scene.
Lonnie,
it took you long enough.
Lonnie's great.
They're
love
so
them so
good. I really like seeing the child actors. I think they do such a good job. They're so good.
So they give so much insight. I mean, that's the writing, and that's but their acting is just so spot on. They are literally mini versions of the main actor. I wonder if they spend time together. You know what I mean? Like maybe in rehearsals or outside of the show.
I would think so. I would think so.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So good.
To keep with the integrity of the character, like development, like you would have to almost have that connection with the
But
child.
then if they're going method, then maybe do they keep Lil Kevin and
Separate?
Kate? Yeah.
I don't know.
Or at
Maybe.
least Kevin, I can't remember, Parker and Lonnie, maybe they keep them apart so that there's some, I don't know.
Maybe.
right.
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know these kid actors though.
All right, so are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. I'm sorry. I went on a tangent. Go,
Like,
go,
look,
take it.
are
Take
we
it away.
ready?
Let's go.
Take us there, boy.
Take us.
Okay, so
Go
I don't
ahead.
even
I'm
know.
ready.
We're
just waiting.
Go ahead.
We're over here.
We're
Like,
all over like this.
I don't even know where to begin. So, so we get, of course, Randall and Beth. We've got Miss Deja in the house, and so one thing that I really loved is we got to see a bit of real like Black excellence. I feel like in a lot of ways we get this moment with Deja and Beth and talking about her hair and a lot of things that we don't necessarily always see on TV, especially when there is a integrated cast. A lot of times, maybe, you know, if you see a show as Black, then, you know, they got these issues and these issues. But to see that on a primetime show like this, I thought they did a remarkable job of exposing those things, you know, with Deja and her hair issues and all of that. So I really, really could appreciate that first and foremost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
well, and you talked about the eyes. Like that's something I noticed about Deja. That
she's
actress,
great.
Oh,
is
yeah.
just
Such
on
a good
point.
job. Yeah.
I mean, and those camera angles are in there.
And very few lines. Her performance
Subtext.
is just so
much subtext.
powerful.
For sure.
So powerful. And that moment, I know I'm skipping ahead to talk about the hair, but when she walks down, the look on Beth's face was just complete and utter
Heartbroken.
heartbroken and
heartbroken.
devastation.
Yep.
I just got chills.
And I was just like, I just started crying. I was like,
That
Yeah.
was so good. Like,
But I will say, I do have a mother who has said the same thing that Beth's mother says, like,
which is
your outward appearance
Yes.
signifies your inward feelings and how your hair should always be done and everything like that. And so there is, to see Deja having hair that we didn't know at the time, but there was an issue with her hair. You just see it as being dirty. You think, oh, she doesn't care about herself. She cared so much that she would hide that about herself.
yeah.
Because she couldn't, especially to these people that she's known, what, a week? You know what I'm saying? She doesn't, that trust wasn't there. And so when Deja asked, and I'm going to get a little bit emotional, but
It's all right, girl. Go there.
go.
when she asked Beth to do her hair,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
the trust level that was there,
Yeah.
because from personal experience, you don't let everybody touch
Right.
your hair.
Right.
Sure.
So to echo what you were saying, Candace,
Yeah.
about when she came downstairs, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. No.
With her haircut, she basically was saying, y'all wanted to talk about me then, talk about me now with my hair like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot for
That
sure.
was a moment that
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry that I
Thank you for sharing that. Thank
Right?
you.
I think that I mean, like you said, thanks so much for sharing that, because
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful experience, and it goes to show the connective tissue that runs throughout the show. But just like I was saying, it goes to show those things that are more represented in the Black community that we don't get to see and that everybody's not exposed to. So to see that translation, and I think it was super impactful both when we saw Beth or Deja connect with Beth and
Yes.
give her that trust and that
Yes.
vulnerability, but also when she felt that her trust had been betrayed.
Yep.
That
with
was that
Randall.
look
Yep.
that I think gave
And
us all
so
chills.
she said,
Yep.
yeah, oh wow. You know what I mean?
She told you what I said. Like that was a moment between us.
That was so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tough.
And I think it's even hard for a child in general because we forget that our parents are humans, and we forget that they have to talk. Like it's their relationship. We talk so much about how Randall and Beth are goals, and they had this utmost like respect for their communication. And as a child, you almost don't understand that.
And not only
you
that,
don't understand
Yes.
that connection that your parents have to have as a relationship. You just feel like you side with one or the other, and I've been betrayed, and I don't trust you,
and I don't
when-
care about your intent.
Exactly.
Because he has the best of intentions.
And it's so hard because I see the heartbreak in Randall's eyes.
Yes, he just
And
wants to
even-
connect.
And even
Yep.
more so, and I feel like moms are so strong and are so used to having that, like, if you go into the mother-father conversation and how their dynamics are with kids, like she even said, I may give them boo-boo kisses, but like, because moms have to be so strong from the moment. Like we automatically get the flack. The first person that's going to get blamed is mama. Mama always gets blamed.
Yeah.
But when dads feel like they failed or can't relate, it's almost like they feel helpless. And it's just to see that helplessness in his eyes, and then like her just ramming him in the face almost with like, why the hell are you going behind my back and saying all this stuff? I don't trust you. Did I talk to you? No, I did not.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I
exactly
did it.
what it was.
And it's just like that dynamic and that trio, it just is so hard, and I feel for all of them because all of them are in the right. And they all
Right.
are hurting so much.
Well, and I think she just needs a mom right now. Like we don't know what happened with her dad yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like I just. Oh, that look on Beth's face
Yeah.
when she came down with her haircut. Because again, it's just
Devastating.
that trust and that bond that they had was just completely shattered in that moment.
And it also speaks to the whole adoption process. Like I feel like with the show, they do a good job of not having us get lost in believing whatever is going to come through the TV screen. But we get to see that this is a real life experience. With adoption, it's going to be a process to where one moment you have this trust, and the next you can just as easily lose it in the next instant. So we got to see that. But with them, I know over the course we're going to see it build right back
We
up.
are, and Randall just wants so bad to use the adoption thing as their
Yeah.
connection. I think that will come, but not right now.
And
you
I
know?
think he needs to chill out. I think he's overcompensating, and I understand where he's coming from. I know that like you just want so much to reach out and just like hug them, but it's not the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably what's so hard when it comes to these scenarios, is that sometimes you just have to step back and let them be them.
Yeah.
Just let them do them and figure it out and process it, because kids are so smart that they'll navigate it on their own. She's doing the best that she can right now.
And hopefully this will be a learning experience for him as well. I mean, we know his character type to begin with. So even for him to not have this control, or to feel, he may feel like he's taking a step back, and then
That
this,
bowling alley scene.
this happens as well. So
he took the glasses off even. I mean, come on.
You knew he was serious,
Right.
because he got
Whip
in
those
his.
glasses off.
He not only took the glasses off, but he was doing it to say like, I want you to see me.
yeah.
I want you to understand that I'm being real with you in this moment. But I wanted to go back to saying that even when we saw Randall as a child with his grandmother, it's about, and they've echoed it on the show other times, it's about Randall wanting to be liked.
Right.
And so he's trying to do what he
Accepted.
thinks Deja will like.
Right.
Instead of just letting her have her quiet moments. Like, she's in a new situation. Just let her be in her
Scared.
room.
Yeah.
Just let her be accustomed to being in her room. Like, don't give her the impression, because every time something happens, she goes to pack, because her
That's what
past
she knows.
experience has said, you do something wrong, you gotta go. And so they're trying to convey to her, like, you're here to stay, at least
family, yeah.
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So, but it's gonna take that time, and I think some people were in the chat were saying that Kevin needs to be patient with his injury. Randall also has to be patient with Deja and just let her have those quiet moments. 100%. She'll come to you when she's ready.
Yeah. And to go back a little bit too about the conversation with Beth and Deja, we learned a little bit about Beth's family. We got a little bit. We finally got a little taste.
It's like they're listening to us.
Hey, writers, are you listening right now? But three sisters and a mama that is over.
I like when she said the Clark girls don't mess around.
Right, opinionated. I cannot wait until we see them at like Thanksgiving or something.
I feel like they are setting us up to meet her family. So I'm
ready
about that.
If they are anything like Rebecca's mama, Lord have mercy.
The entire episode, we're like,
I cannot.
I like Rebecca's mama.
Here's this one over here.
Get out.
Hear me out. When she came through, okay. Y'all know, so I'm always going to be big on, like, you know, a certain level of, like, transparency and, like, honesty and community. Like, that whole aspect I can rock with. So when she came in, I just felt like she was just this was this honest representation of this woman who is just bold, and I'm going to tell y'all this, and this is how it's going to be.
And crude.
I mean, she's very nice,
pretentious,
nasty.
and entitled.
And another word.
I can keep going.
So she has some really, really bad qualities, for sure. But I think that she does represent a person. She does represent an aspect of America. And she does represent a generation.
And they had to bring that character. They had to.
Exactly. And I feel like near the end we got to see her be honest with that. I don't want to have to, what did she say, fight it? Or I can't remember what exactly.
I don't want to have to try.
Right. But I do have to
But you're right.
try.
She's representing a different demographic and a different type of person.
And she's from a past generation as well. It doesn't excuse her behavior, but it allows us to understand
But I loved Mandy just... taking
I
that.
love how she's so
Mm-hmm.
just how she feels about all her children, but with the whole Randall thing, I know we've talked about that a lot, or the other siblings have questioned it, but I love how aware she is, or conscious of making sure, because I know that he's an outsider, I know that he's black, I know all these things, so I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the best for him, because he's my child
and
as
I
well.
think we forget sometimes. I know that even in the flashbacks I realize that it's a different time, but I think we forget the time period that they adopted Randall. There were very few interracial families.
Exactly.
Very, very few.
Right.
It's starting to grow now where there's like a lot more interracial children. There's a lot more interracial adoptions.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing now. But when he was growing up, that's unheard of.
That you saw.
And to be able to, like, it gives me chills to think about, like, if you go backwards when she was trying so hard to, like, figure out how to have him get his hair cut correctly and to go and find a strong black man to, like, be a role model for him, and then for the struggle with oh god,
where are you trying to go?
With what?
We'll help
the karate episode. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh my, the push.
With
that
Jack,
push-ups.
with like the push-ups. That, like, it's still, I forget that sometimes, and so it just made me so frustrated and mad because of the time that we live in now. Yes, there's a lot of issues, but we've made a lot of progress. We can't deny that. So it's like, it still makes it crawl under my skin that there are still people in this world,
absolutely,
and that this was a generation, that this generation is still around, that are very passive aggressively racist. And I think even within your own family, like
exactly that part. You know, it's such an honest approach to look at it, because even when with race relationships, it's always going to be complex. It's always going to be a conflicting situation. But we've seen last season, where when Rebecca was making her way to do those things, and people started thinking, oh, well, is she racist or because she's doing this? But that wasn't her agenda. That's not her intent at all. I really liked that we got to see her face off against her mom. We've been hearing it, and
that's
she's
what I'm
like
saying. She
beating around the bush, but she
Yep.
was like, no, you are a racist. I've sat in here, I've heard you tell the story about the maid, like all these other things, and the damage that you are doing to my children.
And I love the conversation on the bed too about how it's always sort of backhanded too, because that's so prominent in our culture. It just is a little bit backhanded, and that was a really powerful moment.
Yeah, they did a great job of explaining it, because there is that discomfort piece, and then also there's that piece where, hey, we all recognize something's wrong here, but nobody's saying or doing anything about it.
Which is what I loved, because Rebecca, she said it, didn't she?
I almost feel like that backhandedness is even worse than just someone being just right
Right.
up straight, hit you in the face. Well, you like me, you don't, great, go along. But if you're like passive aggressively like dissing me and going against me and everything that I stand for, and I can understand where he just wants to be liked. I've been there as a kid, just wanting to be liked regardless of the situation, but like to want to like be accepted so much.
And third wheel mentality is got to be the worst feeling. I think all of us have felt that at some point in our life too.
I think it's a natural quality to want to be liked, and especially in this situation where these people are different from me. I know that I'm adopted. Like, he has all these things to kind of face, but young Randall does such a good. He's such a smart, like charming, like he's just like a super kid. I really like, his character and the way that he takes it all in. And we got to see, I'm glad that they did lighten the moment. We got to see some comedy where he's like, did she shoot Martin Luther King?
Like, it clicked in his head that fast, and he was like, wait a minute, is she gonna go to jail? Like, what is gonna happen? And that even shows Randall's character. He was concerned for this woman who is his grandmother, who he knows as his mother's mother. He even cared for her after hearing that she's racist, knowing what that word means, or even maybe not knowing what that word means, and him still caring. I think that's
him.
a symbol of who he is as a person.
That line that she said, I just can't believe that it was Randall that got accepted into private school. I about wanted to just
I was like,
smack her.
excuse me?
There were a lot of cringeworthy moments.
They are 10 years old. Like, you would think at some point in those 10 years, she would be able to accept him as her grandchild.
Yeah. But at the same time, I will say that, not that it was even across the board, but we know that this is her character, because just like she's saying things about Kate's dress will be a gold dress, or, Kevin don't mess up your face.
That's another thing.
All right, hold up. Someone want to go first. Who goes first?
That comment for me was like the one tonight. Just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, why has it?
I can't even get the adjectives out to describe my feelings.
Weight complex issues. I swear to, like, we already as a female dealing with that in general. Like, you got a magazine, and then your grandmother is telling you it's a gold dress. Like, it's just and it was so symbolic of her gold dress. See, that
and it's laying the foundation too of why she's.
But what's interesting to me is it seemed that, and maybe I just missed cues, it seemed like Kate was easier brushing off her grandmother than she is to brush off her mom.
Agreed.
Like, if her mom were to say something like that, especially 17-year-old Kate would have taken it a different way. Now, granted, we haven't seen 17-year-old Kate with her grandmother, so maybe it's the same thing, but it just, when the grandmother, did we get her name? I don't remember.
I don't remember hearing her name.
But when she took over cooking, Kate was quick to say, like, Mom, I like your suit, Mom.
Yes.
The best.
And then the grandmother stepped back in and was like, well, I was the one who taught her. And Kate was just like, whatever. My mom make the best suit.
I agree.
She protects her mom.
Yeah.
She, as much as she like, you are always going to protect your mama, no matter how aggravated you are getting with her. You protect your mama.
But seeing her mom, one question I was struck with, I was just wondering, like, how much is she like her mother? Because I feel that how much is Rebecca like her mother? Because she has this whole, the way that Kate perceives it is spitting image.
Well, and I think we might have that'll be a conversation in later episodes, is that correlation.
That's true. That is true. I feel like as much as she's trying to face all these other issues with like Randall and all this other stuff, that she's inadvertently doing exactly what her mother did to her.
Exactly.
To Kate.
Even though she doesn't want to do that. I mean, she made it a point. I want us to be separated from my family, but we've seen her be that way.
And then that'll be interesting to see how Kate parents her
child.
Because it's
coming full circle.
Is it going to be a little girl?
Is it
going to be a little girl? What do you guys think? Is it going to be a little girl, little boy?
I think
little girl,
I saw
little boy?
somebody in the chat earlier say that they hope it's a girl. I think Aaliyah was saying that she hopes. It's
I
a
just
girl.
feel
I don't know.
like story-wise, they could really take that obviously to some places because of the mother-daughter
Mean
thing.
Girl,
Yeah.
I do kind of feel like, and maybe this is a little prediction-y, I do kind of feel like Kate being pregnant is going to kind of fix
Bring them back
at least a
together.
little
Sure.
bit
Sure, I could
of
see
the
that.
relationship
Yeah.
between her and
Can I
Rebecca.
also do almost prediction-y? Do you think that she will actually carry the baby full term?
I was gonna.
See,
I didn't know if we wanted to.
I don't
wanna go there.
I was
yet.
just gonna say this show would not surprise me if it went there.
I'm just saying because that is a very real reality that is also very taboo within, like, for females, that it's so common and so many women don't address it because they automatically feel shame about it. She hasn't even mentioned it to Toby and she's 6 weeks along, which is typically standard that you don't say anything other than to your husband. You haven't even said anything to your husband.
Right.
But I'm wondering if they will tackle that issue as well because it is such a huge issue within this anywhere, not even just in this country, just in general. That is like, it's part of it, unfortunately, and it's a sad thing. But with her weight issue and her age on top of it, like,
I think they will.
or will the baby have problems if she's born as well?
I think that
There's a lot of things that they could go with it.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know what I don't want to decide, but I think it'll be addressed because we are going to see her be super aware of it because
of course.
the odds are stacked against her. She's
Absolutely.
37. She's overweight, so I think we'll get to see that, and there'll probably be moments where things are going to come up or difficulties, but. Honestly, who knows?
I
Yeah,
hope
it could
that baby
really
comes
go
all the way.
Either
I know
way.
she's so
direction.
close to her dad. Maybe it'll be a boy and she'll name him Jack.
Yeah, I think somebody said
I don't
that
know.
actually.
Let's see.
I mean, I would love for. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just trying to be
Right.
like realistic with this show,
Right.
Because
And,
that's
like,
what the show gives us.
Yes.
It gives us that reality.
Yes.
So
reality check.
it makes you think of things that could actually happen.
right?
Absolutely.
It is
Heavy note,
it is
guys.
a,
I'm so
it is a
sorry.
reality slap in the face, that's for sure.
We got chicken pox. We got hair cutting. We got babies. We got.
Did we even
got
really talk
pill
about
popping.
the chicken pox?
No,
Like
No.
we
Have
started.
Have you guys had the chicken pox?
I have.
I have.
I
too.
did.
I missed the pool party because of the chicken pox.
I was getting ready to go to Disney, and I remember I was laying in bed, and I had just barely woken up. My eyes were still closed. My mom was like, "Hold on, she's waking up. She has a chicken pox," and I don't know what to do. And I was like, "I have one."
Oh my gosh.
I remember having them, and I have 5 brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
so we all like had them at the same
Yep, that
time.
was
The
me too.
calamine lotion.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh, your poor parents.
Yes, my brother got it first, and then my sister and I, we were just scratching
The
the same exact
worst.
thing. Yes.
Did any of you
Oatmeal
try
baths.
to? Did you try to get it, or was it just like a natural? Were you like a Randall,
we
where
weren't
you were
pulling
like,
no Randalls. I didn't want it.
Yep, I know. My poor parents, all 3 of us, same time, oatmeal baths. Go.
Well, it made it easy, I guess.
Just be
yeah.
out, be
Just
done and out the
outdo.
way with.
I was not
Yeah.
the brave one though. I was like scratching
my
my eyelids.
God.
I remember my eyelids were on fire.
no.
Fire. I mean, we had the
Yikes.
mitts, the whole thing.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that bad of a bout of it because I don't
Yeah.
remember any vivid like.
no?
Like, I don't think it lasted.
yeah.
That I have no scars from it. Like and I
I
wasn't
have one.
only growing up until I was
I'm sure.
9, so I was like. It was
I have
just
one
me.
scar,
Nice.
You
I have
went to
chicken pox.
town
I
on
have
yourself.
several, I'm sure.
just one.
I was just happy I got to stay at home and watch Nick Jr. and eat my cereal and
Right.
have calamine lotion on me. I was a happy little child.
You know what else made me happy was seeing them in the VHS store.
Yes.
In the rental.
Yes.
That
oh
was
my gosh.
Like I was like,
karate
oh,
kid.
flashbacks.
The struggle was real when you went to go rent that movie, though,
and there was
not
none.
there.
Yup.
Right?
Yup.
Kids of this generation will never
I know.
understand.
They'll
Nope.
never get it. Who rents movies?
They'll never get.
I
There
thought that
is
was so
still one
cute.
rental store left in my hometown, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Should go
I'm
back for
going.
nostalgia.
You want to go to Brandenburg, Kentucky? Come
I'm
on
there.
over.
Kentucky, I'm coming for you.
But I did like the flirtatious nature between Jack and Rebecca. With it was
Oh,
so
so
cute.
cute.
With Patrick Swayze, he was like, "Yep, not
And
gonna
no,
watch that."
But we all love our Travolta, too.
I know, right?
Travolta was great. Oh,
I
yes.
will say,
Especially in Look Who's Talking.
my favorite Luke
Oh
Who's
my God.
Talking is Luke Who's Talking Now with the dogs.
I don't
The
know
third
if I've
one?
seen that one.
I
It
got
had-
to 2. I didn't get to. I didn't even know
I
there
was
was a
like,
third.
Netflix
okay,
it.
these talking
Right.
babies, this is cute. But then dogs came in. I was like, oh my God, I'm all the way in.
Oh my goodness.
So that's my favorite.
So we know how to get her.
Right.
Just give her dogs and babies. I'm right
But
there with you, though.
what a whimsical scene. That was so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
And
good
to see
see
Kevin
these
get so
moments that we
frustrated.
know.
I remember those kid tantrums when you're hungry
Oh
and
my
you're
God.
tired and you don't feel good and I just wanted my movie and I can't.
He was such a brat. He was such a
But he
brat.
was sick.
He was sick.
That's true.
At 10 years old, and
He
you're
was
sick.
Yeah.
Listen,
And you don't have
when
your
I'm
movie.
sick now, I'm a brat. All day long. So I get it.
Well, we already touched on it a little bit, but we don't have too much time left, so let's go in predictions. Anyone got any good ones?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't even know.
Oh, I did
Yes.
want to mention really
Take it
quickly
away.
because I don't think I have a prediction. I'm just riding.
At this point,
Right.
you can only
Right.
do
Ride the
that.
wave.
I did want to notice that Kevin received a fruit basket from like the crew.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was intentional, but it made me think of Randall when he received that pear package from his company. And I was just like, look how much they care versus Randall's former company giving him something that he's like allergic to. So I was just saying, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if that was intentional or
I thought he was going to get cut out when he got the
We
new script.
all did. We all
did
I was
too.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, he's done.
no.
Yeah.
He's done. They killed him in the water. It's an expression.
Rhoda.
It's an expression. Okay, predictions wise, I for a second I had a weird prediction that like maybe Jack died from the shingles. He did not, but I was just like, I'm trying really hard to figure out this mystery, guys. He did not die in a fire. I'm standing by that. He did not die in a fire. The fire happened after, but I don't. As much as I want to see baby,
You don't think that's gonna
I
happen?
don't think it's gonna
Okay.
happen. I don't. Unfortunately, just like the
Yeah, the nature of it.
the nature of it, and I think that they will. To be honest, it will be more of a conversation starter for people, and I think that this show is so cathartic. And they're really tackling issues that no one ever talks about. Like you
Yeah.
guys have all we've all been touched by different things because they're all experiences that we've had in our own life, and I think that that is something that isn't represented. Because we're focusing so much on her weight and everything else, we're not focusing on the female issue and like what is going on and like sexism and like obesity, but then we're not talking about like being a mother and going through those struggles, and like she's going to try really hard, but I think that this would be more beneficial, unfortunately, and this sounds really morbid, more beneficial to the people that are watching the show to have the conversations about that and to really make an impact rather than to have the baby. As much as I would love to have that baby and like I love babies.
Well, and maybe like we were talking about,
maybe they'll keep trying.
Well, maybe Rebecca
something
and
like that,
Kate,
yeah.
if she loses the baby, that'll be a connection
To
because
still have
Exactly.
that.
Rebecca.
I think
lost
there's
it.
a lot more that they can do with it.
Yeah.
With
That way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna make
there's that.
any predictions
Yeah.
at this point, but I will say I appreciated it taking a step back from unpacking and figuring out how Jack died.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
do
like,
too.
so let's just get it out the way because we see that the show can go on without the mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. Very
I
much so.
think for Kevin, this is a wish more than a prediction. I want if he is going to go down, and I think we reported it in news that he's gonna go down a bad path. I kind of want to see Randall pull him out.
Or and my to kind of piggyback off of that,
on.
I wonder if Deja will be a part of that because they kind of led into like her being interested in going to that little thing next week. Didn't they do like a little spot?
yeah, they did.
So I
with
wonder
Randall?
Deja
What I
being Deja being kind of lost. I just wonder if maybe her and Kevin start connecting because
They're going to an event.
They're going to an event, and remember, Deja's like, "Can I go?" So I wonder if maybe that might be a little bit of a therapeutic relationship happening there. We'll see.
Side note, going back to the hair,
Uncle Yes.
that preview that we saw of
Her
Deja's
hair
cut,
looks so cute.
loved it.
course.
Yeah,
Yes.
loved it.
I loved your face when you were like, "Yeah, girl."
But you know Beth is gonna get her right one way or another.
She gonna take her to
gonna
the
go to the
salon.
salon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that would be such a bonding moment though,
Yes.
to go to a salon at that age, like you just feel so special, and I
That'll be
think that's
good.
what she really needs is just to feel special
Yeah.
and wanted
And that relationship has to be
And
patched
and
that
taken
trust.
care of.
Yeah.
I think she just needs to be taken care of, and she doesn't know how to release to that. She's so like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. She doesn't
And I
know
have
how
no
to release to be like,
Right.
yeah, I need to be taken care of.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we do have only one little bit of news for you guys. We don't have too much this week. But hold on. Can we all do this? Ready? Where's yours? Where's yours?
Over there.
Oh. Okay.
Ready,
One,
set?
two,
I'm Vanna White.
three, go.
I don't know if you can see it,
I love one.
but Milo.
Milo is on the cover of Los Angeles Confidential.
My Milo.
issue.
Right?
And my, oh my, he
Milo.
looks fantastic. Milo,
And if you
look
notice,
does.
if you see it, if you're listening later, if you notice, he has a ring on his finger. I don't know what that means. I don't know if
He
he's
is dating
just,
someone.
but
Hey,
I don't know
now.
if that means he's embodying Jack in this.
Maybe.
What happened? Oh,
yes, so sorry. We forget that there are some podcast listeners. So Milo is on the cover of Los Angeles Confidential for the men's issue. He is looking very handsome, but he is wearing a ring on his left
He's
finger.
looking a little Jack on that.
So we don't know whether that's for Jack or
Yeah.
whether that's for him, but he does go in depth into
Page 83.
page 83.
Yeah, and the
I
article
actually
talks
do
of-
have a lot of extra copies. So if any of you guys are interested in those,
Yeah.
maybe we can do a little like competition or something, or like polls or whatever, and we can get those to you. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of these. But
I'm
if you
excited
guys
to
can
read
get your
it,
hands
too.
on it,
Yeah,
he
the
talks
article
about.
talks
It's a good read,
about kind of that father figure that he plays on This Is Us, and that ageism for men in Hollywood as well, stepping
Yes.
into that bracket. So.
There's a lot of stuff
Kudos
going on
to
in
him.
Hollywood, and I love that Hollywood's being so bold to attack it head on. All the different
Wow.
issues.
Yes.
And I'm not
They ain't
gonna
got
get into
much
that, but
choice.
there's-
I was going to say,
kinda have
ageism
to.
is a
They ain't
big
got
one
much
right now, I'll tell you
choice.
that.
It is, but yeah, so definitely check that out if you guys can get a hold of that.
Good
but that's
stuff.
our only bit of news today.
Good stuff.
But I had to show his beautiful face.
For Lena.
oh,
For
and
Lena.
Callie in the chat. Sorry, really quickly. Mentioning that Randall's little healing song was cute. I was like,
So
can we have,
cute.
can we
We
have
almost-
that
So
like in the
cute.
Spotify playlist? Can
Yes.
we
Right.
create that song? Because I would
Have him do
love
it.
to
It
hear
was
it.
so cute.
There's
Yeah.
so many of those beautiful moments infused in this show.
He's just such a dad with his little moves and his little
Yeah.
song, and I'm just like,
Can't go wrong.
Okay, I love it. Love Randall. Love it. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much again for joining in and being so amazing in the chat. I can't get over how many people continue to tune in every single week and talk with us. So please continue doing that. Again, my name is Candace Cruz. Join us next week. You can find me in all of my social media at Candace R. Cruz.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure for the This Is Us panel. My name is Keith Andre. You can follow me everywhere at Keith_Andre. I'm making it my mission to tweet Susan, the actress that plays Beth, to see just how impacted you were by this episode.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I will echo that. Thank you for tuning in. Anyone listening, watching, we love everybody. And I'm Erica Shannon, and you can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby.
Good stuff. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Of
Oh my gosh, so
It
much
was
fun.
so good.
Such a fan. This is such an honor. Oh my goodness. My friends, AfterBuzzers, I'm Becky Sotero. You can find me at Becky Sotero on all social media. And Lena will be back next week, right there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll switch spots. But we'll be back next week, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.